Switchcraft is brought to you live 3 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern and on Saturday at whatever time I can get to it. Tune in live at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. This episode of Switchcraft is brought to you by Lindsay Duger. Support Switchcraft and my other content for as little as $1 over at patreon.com/runjumpstomp. There we go. And we will name that patron. And we will save. NSC190. Crap in a hat. 195. Holy cow. Save. All right. Switchcraft episode 195 is brought to you by OP Seat. Head on over to runjumpstomp.com/OBSeat. OB Seat, you're my only hope. Let's try that one again. OP Seat. Switchcraft episode 195 is brought to you by OP Seat. Head on over to runjumpstomp.com/OPSeat to directly support the show and get a fantastic gaming chair that can support you. I'm sitting in one right now and it's great. And just a special note that right now, the chairs over at OP Seat are $50 off. So head on over there now to get your chair today. All right. Sponsor. All right. All right, two things real quick before I get into the news. If you've listened to recent episodes, you probably already know about this, but I want to make sure that everybody has a chance. We've got 2 giveaways coming up. The first giveaway is because we hit 200,000 downloads of the podcast in the last 4 months, which is just crazy to me. And in honor of that, I am giving away $60 worth of eShop credit. If you want to join the giveaway, just go to runjumpstomp.com/giveaway and you can enter right there. In addition to that, in honor of our 200th episode, which is coming up very soon, we've only got 5 episodes to go before then, at Kill the Chickens on Twitter, contacted me and said, hey, here's a $20 eShop gift card if you want to give that away to a random chatter on the episode 200. So if you want to join in and have a chance at a $20 eShop gift card courtesy of at Kill the Chickens, make sure that you head on over to twitch.tv/runjumpstomp, hit follow, and follow me on Twitter. And when episode 200 comes, make sure that you're there in chat. And at the end of the episode, I will give away $20 worth of eShop credit. Thank you very much to at Kill the Chickens on Twitter for sponsoring that. Giveaway. All right. Thank you guys for doing all the chat commands while I'm talking about stuff. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to move this to the end. I got one of my links in the wrong spot. It's very painful. We'll put this way down here at the end. There. Now if I refresh my show notes, there we go. All right, the first story of the day is about Anker batteries. So if you did not know, Anker is this company that makes rechargeable batteries. So you can charge up this battery with maximum charge and then use it to charge up everything that you've got. So for instance, I've got one right here. This is the Anker. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's the Anker 2100. So that's 20100. And this thing is fantastic. My wife recently took a trip to New York City, and she packed this in her purse, and she was able to use it to recharge her phone. And you'll notice she recharged her phone, I think it was twice. And she's got an iPhone 8 not a plus or anything, but just an iPhone 8. And this shows you how much charge it has left. And she recharged it, I think it was twice, and I did not charge it when she came back. So for those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about, I'm holding it up to the camera. Sorry, audio people. But it is practically still full. This thing can fully charge your Nintendo Switch multiple times, and it even has enough output if you use the USB-C port on it to charge your Switch while you're playing it. So I was able to play my Switch and charge it at the same time without having a wall outlet with me, which was really cool. And I'm very happy with that. And now Anker is now going to be releasing officially licensed Switch power banks portable chargers. This is via Go Nintendo. Now, I don't know if these are exactly the same, but they do come in two varieties. They come in one that is 13,400 milliamp hours, and then they also come with one that is 20,100 milliamp hours. Now, what I will say about this is, first off, this is just Japan for now, and maybe they'll come over to the States, but these are pretty expensive from what I've been told in chat. Like, if we convert 6,980, or no, I'm sorry, 9,980 yen, that's pretty close to $100, I think. And I believe that you can get the one that I have much cheaper currently. And I've had zero problems with this. Now, what you're paying for is you're paying for peace of mind with these officially licensed power banks, because these are licensed by Nintendo, and this is saying, Nintendo is saying this is not going to hurt your device. But my guess is it's basically the same device, and they're just putting the logo on it, because I've had zero problems with this power brick. And honestly, I would recommend, and by the way, if you get one of these and it damages your Switch, it is not my fault. But I would personally recommend that you just get the one that I have. And you know, if I remember, I'll throw a link to the one that I have in the show notes, because I'm very happy with this one, and I've used it to charge my Switch and my phone and even a laptop. Like, we have a Chromebook that we keep around the house. I've used it to charge that before too, and it works really, really well. And I think that you're safe as long as you go USB-C to USB-C. But then again, I'm not an engineer, so who knows? That's my recommendation: is don't buy the official Nintendo ones. I would recommend that you just get the cheaper ones made by the same exact company, because Anker makes good stuff. Let's see what chat thinks about this. That chap Zap, who is the host of the Switched Pixels podcast, he says Anker banks are spot on, and TF Wagner says Anker makes a great selfie stick. Res TV, who is the host, one of the hosts of the Nintendo Pulse podcast, he says that's a huge cost for the added screen printing. And by the way, he's going to be one of the guests on my show on Saturday, I'm looking at a calendar right now, the 9th. He's going to be on Saturday the 9th. We're going to do a live stream right here at twitch.tv/runjumpstomp, along with his co-host Steven and N64 Josh. We're all going to sit down and talk about our predictions for E3. So make sure that you follow us here so you can check that out. Let's see. Backback B says $90 for Nintendo brand, $45 for the same size without the license. I think most people are agreeing with me that they're not happy with the prices. And let's see. Can I just go ahead and somebody go ahead and ban Tears Test 3? I don't want them in here. They want to be like that. So anyway, thank you guys very much for letting me know what you think here in chat. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, I will call that batteries. Tears Test 3, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Oops, sorry, I said butt. I meant to say butt. All right. Let's see. Giveaways, Anchor. Here we go. Oh, that's a very, very good show title, Joel Mead 24. Well, it was Kodiak Moonwolf. It was my old Chromebook, the one that ended up eventually dying after 4 years. So I don't know. I haven't tried it with the new one. No, you can't do it with the new one because it's got a different power port. But my last one just had basic USB. All right. All right. Next on the docket here, we've got Konami, which a lot of people are like, Konami, get those guys out of here. But Konami is set to reveal 2 new games for the Nintendo Switch at E3 this year. This comes via Nintendo Life. They said, with the exception of a few titles such as Super Bomberman R, which I have right here, holding it up for the viewers. Konami is one of the few developers to show continued investment in the Nintendo Switch. And, you know, I don't really get what they're saying here. It seems like, whoops, I didn't mean to click that. It seems like they're saying that we've seen support from Konami. The only game that I believe that we've seen from Konami is Super Bomberman R. And if you haven't played Super Bomberman R, it's actually pretty good. It launched pretty poorly. It had low frames per second. It had some creative decisions that I think got in the way of gameplay, but they very quickly patched it and fixed it. And this game is actually pretty fun. I'm a fan of Super Bomberman R, but I guess we've got 2 games that are listed on Konami's official page for E3 2018. One is stated to be an action-adventure game, and the other is a compilation. There's no other details, okay? So what could it be? Well, you know, it could be Castlevania. It could be Metal Gear. It could be a lot of things. We really don't know. It could just be ports of something as well. But whatever it is, we're going to find out at E3. However, we did recently find out that one of those games, or at least I believe it's one of those games, because they just announced Super Bomberman R Max. Now, I watched the video, and I couldn't really tell what was the difference between Super Bomberman R and Super Bomberman R Max. I'm almost wondering if it's DLC for this, or if it is like, I really have no idea what it is. But you can watch the oh, you know what? I didn't actually put the link in the show notes, so sorry about that. But you can, if you just Google Super Bomberman RX, I'm sure that it'll come up and you can watch the video. I'm very confused as to what that is because we already have Super Bomberman R on the Nintendo Switch, so very curious. That chap Zap says they are a scar on the gaming industry, just a little better than EA. Vaxer says, I like how Konami did Metal Gear Solid with zombies, and then Kojima seen it and laughed at it. Let's see, what else did we get here? J Harley 17 made it to a live stream. Welcome, J Harley. And Joel Mead says you have to buy stock in one company and you can only choose between Konami and EA. Which one do you pick? Well, that's a tough question. Anyway, I'm very curious as to what Super Bomberman R Max is, but one thing I can tell you that it is too long of a title. All right, there we go. So Max, I'll say, save. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you here. All right. So for those of you paying attention, very recently, we had found out that somebody had found some data on the eShop for Fortnite. And it showed like the icon for Fortnite. And I believe I talked about it last episode. Well, according to a user on Reddit, Rosalind, I believe is the name, they have found information about paladins. And it is, quote unquote, leaked in the same exact manner. Something I don't really know what it is that I'm looking at, because I am not a I'm not a I don't know, a programmer or whatever, but there's some kind of thing here that has something to do with paladins. Okay, so if you're watching the video, you can see exactly what it is. Some kind of file, that's a JSON file that's available. Now that that's said, this is pretty important, because just a couple days ago, Fortnite was leaked exactly this way. Okay, and then now we have Paladins leaked exactly this way. And why is this super important? Well, it's super important because right after that came out, like today, it was announced like fully that Paladins is in fact coming to the Nintendo Switch. And not only is it coming to the Nintendo Switch, but it's coming to the Nintendo Switch on June 12th. Featuring 60 frames per second gameplay and cross-platform multiplayer with Xbox 360 and 360 with Xbox One, and I'm assuming PC as well, and probably not PS4. So the fact that both of these games were leaked in the same exact way, and then we get an announcement about Paladins on the Nintendo Switch, that leads a lot more weight behind the Fortnite leak. And, you know, I've been talking about Fortnite on the show a lot, which is just bananas. Like, I can't seem to get away from it. But we've got it was listed on the Korean games rating board website, and then we have the icon being data mined out of the eShop, and then we get the same thing with Paladins, and then Paladins is now confirmed. So I'm fairly certain that on the 13th, when Nintendo does their presentation, I'm 99.9% sure that they'll be like, and here is Fortnite, and you can download it and play it right now. And it'll go live probably 15 minutes after that, and people will be ignoring the rest of E3 while they try and get their victory royale. But anyway, I'm actually pretty excited for Paladins, because right now we don't have a good heroes shooter. And when I say heroes shooter, I'm talking about a game that's a lot like Overwatch. And, you know, when Paladins first came out, in fact, Blizzard sued Paladins for copying a lot of their stuff. And Paladins totally copied a lot of their stuff. I don't care what they say, they totally copied some stuff. Like right down to having a dwarf that builds stuff with a Swedish sounding name, or maybe it's a Finnish sounding name. I don't know. I would say an Eastern European sounding name. How's that? I think that the fact that it's a kind of a copy of Overwatch, you know, people kind of look down on Paladins because of that. But I'm willing to get past that, because it's actually a pretty fun game. It's not as good as Overwatch. It's certainly, when I would say it's like a poor man's Overwatch, but it's still fun as hell. And if you haven't played it, you definitely should. Now, I believe that the Founders Pack, because if you don't know, Paladins is actually a free-to-play game on other platforms. I guess they're going to be launching a Founders Pack for $30 on the Nintendo Switch, and I'm sure that you'll also be able to pick up the game for free later on, but they're going to get people early access by paying for it. And, you know, I don't mind paying for a game like that, because I think that the chance of Overwatch coming to the Nintendo Switch is virtually zero. What's his name? It starts with a J. The guy in charge of Overwatch, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he basically said, "Look, we would love to bring Overwatch to the Nintendo Switch, but right now it's using." Yeah, Jeff Kaplan. Thank you, that chap Zap. It's Jeff Kaplan said that running Overwatch and keeping the same release schedule on all three platforms that they are currently supporting, that would be PC, Xbox, and PS4, it's using up all their resources to do that. And they really can't afford to support a fourth system that has very different hardware. And overall, I think Paladins is fun, and since we're not going to be getting Overwatch on the Switch, I will be picking up Paladins because I'm looking for a good hero shooter like that. Now, related to Fortnite and Paladins, there's also a different mode in Paladins that I guess is available on PC, although I haven't tried it yet. And that is a battle royale version of Paladins. So I guess Paladins wasn't content enough to copy just Overwatch. They also decided to copy PUBG and Fortnite a little bit. And you know, again, I don't see a problem with that. They're duplicating a gameplay type. They're not copying everything 100%. They're making it their own. It'll be a class-based battle royale style game. So you'll have like ninjas or whatever, you know, different abilities for different kinds of characters instead of everybody being exactly the same. And it looks like it doesn't really have the building aspect to it, except for with items. So like, I guess you can get items and throw those down to build something really quick to get it, to get some cover between you and your enemy. Now, I haven't played it, so I don't know much about it, but right now that's only on the PC and has not come to consoles. So naturally, my first question is, are we going to be getting that Battle Royale version of Paladins on the Nintendo Switch as well? Well, right now it's not on consoles, and it's only on PC. So I was curious as to how long after controller support was out for PC did we get it on consoles. And I guess that controller support came out for Paladins on PC in January of 2016, and then controller support for, or I'm sorry, not controller support, but then the game actually came out on the PS4 and Xbox One in September of 2016, I believe. So that's quite a big difference. And what we're just now starting to see is some controller support in the new mode, the Battle Royale mode. So like when you go up to an item, it'll pop up with keyboard buttons that you would push in order to open the item, but it also would said something like press A to equip, and it was like the Xbox style A. So now that they're starting to put controller support into the Battle Royale mode of this, I expect that we'll probably see it in a few months, if not a little bit more, but I do expect that we will eventually get this mode on consoles as well. Whew. Oh my God. That was almost very bad. I knocked over my water bottle and it landed on my Raspberry Pi, but luckily I had the top on it. All right, we got that done. We'll go ahead and name that Paladins. Save. All right. All right, I've got two videos that I hope you guys will check out. One of them is a commercial for Mario Tennis Aces, and it looks pretty damn good. I think that they did a great job with it. My very first instinct when they unveiled Mario Tennis Aces was I think that they'll have some very attractive people playing tennis across a table from each other, where with a switch on one side, a switch on the other side, and they're standing with this table between them, waving their hands around. And that did show up at the end of this, so, you know, I called it. But what I didn't expect is that they would find an actual real-life tennis player to play a game of tennis against Mario, you know, in like a live action shot. And I gotta say, man, Mario looked really good, really, really good in this video. Like his mustache, like had stray hairs coming off of it and stuff. And overall, I think that Nintendo's marketing team has been doing a great job, which is really, really good news, because one of the people who's in charge of Nintendo's marketing team, and damn it, I forgot his name again, is the guy that is going to be replacing Mr. Kimishima at the end of the month as president of Nintendo. So he's been deep in the marketing over there, and I think he's doing a great job there. And having him replace Mr. Kimishima when he retires, I think that's a so far so good. I think it's a good thing, just based on the things that we've seen so far. But that's a pretty cool commercial, so make sure you check out the link in the show notes. Another thing that I want you to check out if you have time is a first look by me of a game called One Strike, and I want to talk about this game a little bit. I haven't played much of it, only about 15 minutes or so. And when I was playing it, I was very impressed with the style of game it is. It is a fighting game, like a 2D fighting game. Very, I would say almost 8-bit in its art style, but also has some really good artwork between actual gameplay sessions. But it's a very unique fighting game in the fact that you only have to hit your opponent once in order to win. And you kind of have two moves. You've got a block, well, no, three moves. You got a block move, you've got an attack move, and then you've got a move that will let you jump backwards from, if somebody's swinging their sword at you, you can jump backwards. And when I was playing it, I was playing it by myself. I haven't played it with another person yet, but the first thing that I thought of was, this would make a fantastic party game where you just, whoever wins the duel, because the duels are over like that. They're so quickly over. But whoever wins the duel keeps the controller, and then the next person gets the other controller, and they get a chance to try and unseat the champion. I think it would be a really good party game, and it's by, I think it's called Cubic Games, or maybe it was Qubit Games. These are the same developers that made Astro Bears Party, which I did a review on my YouTube channel. They made that pirate ship game Anchors Away, which I hated. I thought it was really bad. But then they also made one called Robonauts, where you were running, a two-player co-op game as well. So they seem to be focusing on these low price, really good games where it's really focused on multiplayer, with the exception of the pirate game that Pirates All Aboard I didn't enjoy. The rest of those I thought were really fun games, and they're all really cheap. And not only are they really cheap, but I guess you can get, when it comes out, I believe tomorrow. I could be wrong about that, but when it comes out, I think tomorrow, One Strike costs $5. But if you own the other games from Cubic Games, Robonauts and Astro Bears Party Deluxe, if you own those games, you get One Strike for half off, so you get it for $2.50. These games are really good. I wouldn't get them if you don't have other people to play with, but if you've got other people to play with, they can be really fun. And I think that One Strike it's definitely something you should check out if you're interested in it. So make sure you look at the first look that I've got over on YouTube, and youtube.com/runjumpstomp, and you can make your own decision about it. And we'll name that Vids. Mario Tennis Costume DLC on Odyssey. Oh, cool. Let me check that out real quick. Do you have a link to a picture of it, Nintendork? I can throw it in the show notes right. Well, probably not in the show notes, but I can look at it right now. And what was the other thing I said I was going to put in the show notes? Does anybody remember? Oh shoot! What the heck was it? Oh yeah, it was the portable bank. So let me just, while I'm waiting for you to find that, if you don't mind, let me find my orders on Amazon, and it's called ANKHER. I hate ANHKER, I think. No. Battery? There we go. Okay. So this is the one that I have, and I will just get a... add it to the show notes. Paste. And I'll give you guys the link too. if you want to buy the one that I have. Create link. There we go. Mario Tennis Con. No, I just meant it would be cool. Oh, okay. That's fine, Nintendork. No big deal. That is a good idea, though. Joel Mead. All right, that's fine. Now, where were we? We were looking at... All right. So I've got two more things that I want to talk about very quickly. First off, if you want to check out what Capcom has planned for E3, we've got I posted like their schedule for E3 this year. You can check it out over at runjumpstomp.com. Just click on blog on the top and you'll see a link there that says Capcom at E3 2018. I'm very excited to see some of their stuff for Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I'm excited to find out more about Mega Man 11, and I'm really excited for Monster Hunter World, or as I spelled it on my website, Monster Hunter World, since I typed that one wrong. So make sure that you check out their schedule. I'm excited for a lot of their stuff. Pokemon CEO says that the 2019 Switch RPG, this is the one that we're going to get in the second half of next year, not this year, it will be something that longtime fans have waited for. He says, the reason we can release a new Pokemon game at this time is because the development started when the Switch launched. The process and tempo of catching Pokemon Let's Go is completely different. He's just telling us how to play that game. It does not say if there's actually fighting wild Pokemon. Then he says the new title coming out in the second half of 2019. Let me bring this up on the screen. This is via Silicon Era. Tiny me, there we go. The new title coming out in the second half of 2019 will be a completely different game from Pokemon Let's Go. It is not an entry game, but a game that we want longtime fans of the Pokemon series to look forward to. It will have a good understanding of what an evolved Pokemon game looks like after it has continued to succeed the traditions of Game Freak, and we want to make Pokemon fans say, this is what I've been waiting for by delivering a brand new product packed with gameplay elements and plenty of new Pokemon to encounter. So he's just saying, look, when you see what Pokemon Let's Go is, keep in mind this is not the direction that Pokemon games are going to be taking from now on. It's going to be different in the future. This is meant to be an onboarding of people who haven't played these games in a long time, and they're trying to reintroduce them to the series. Let's take a look at what chat says. Chat says, I think Capcom needs to release another Street Fighter game. Yeah, no thank you. I already bought one, and then we got the second one that came out. I really wanted to check out that second one, the 30th anniversary edition. Pudding in chat says, Pokemon MMO confirmed. Joel Mead says, in a related story, we will see Pudding sometime in the year 2022. I guess I don't get that. So anyway... let's move on. We've got to thank somebody here. We've got to thank CMJDM for reviewing the show on Apple Podcast Canada edition. They gave the podcast 5 stars, and they said, most Switch and Nintendo podcasts are made by the younger crowd, but this dude has a more adult style. I can actually relax and listen to this, whereas the rest are just too hyped. Yes, I like to be chill. I like to be relaxed. And then if you are looking for a way to support the show, why don't you head on over to runjumpstomp.com/thank you. There's a lot of ways there that you can support the show. Just make sure that you check that out if you are looking for ways. But if you are looking for other ways to support the show, you can just review the show on iTunes. Get us up back all the way up to that full 5-star rating. Right now, I think we're at like 4.5 or something like that, and it would definitely help if you would review the show over there. Don't forget, if you're listening to the show, you're missing out on some stuff because I edit that down in order to keep it succinct and quick. It doesn't always work, but you usually are missing out on some conversation that we've had when I'm not actually recording, or maybe I chop some stuff out. So if you want the full show, head on over to twitch.tv/runjumpstomp. Hit that follow button, and every time I go live, click the button, and you can check it out. If you can't come to the live shows because you are a very busy person, I totally understand. Head on over to youtube.com/runjumpstomp, and you can always watch the videos after the fact. And somebody even told me that that it works very well because of the pace at which I tend to speak. It works very well to watch the video back at 1.5 times speed. You get to watch the whole video, and it doesn't take up nearly as much time. So thank you very much. I would also like to take a moment to thank Tom Winter and Noteblock for the use of their music on the audio version of the show. And I also want to stop and thank the chat. The show would not be the same without the chatters who are here when I record the show. So I'm going to take a second and thank them. We've got Kodiak Moonwolf, Snow Goes Ham, That Chap Zap, Vaxer is here, Backback B, J Harley 17, Joel Mead 24, Kimbalina 66, Like Jet Ski, Mikey B Playing, Nintendork 2012, Pudding, Shout Gamers, Res TV, Simple Monk, TF Wagner, Tub of Popcorn, V and K, Virgo Pros, and of course, the Lurkers. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.